It was just another quiet night for Jenna. A cold evening in Austin, Texas. The kind of night that was perfect for staying in with a glass of wine and a good book. Jenna had been babysitting for the Daniels family for the past few months, and she had grown accustomed to the stillness of their large suburban home. The kids, two young children named Lily and James, were upstairs sleeping soundly, and Jenna felt at peace in the quiet of the house. The old house had its creaks and groans, but that was part of its charm. She snuggled into the living room couch, the soft glow of the lamp casting long shadows around the room. The hum of the fridge in the kitchen was the only sound. Until the phone on the wall suddenly broke the silence. Jenna sighed, wondering who could be calling at this hour. She picked it up lazily. "Hello." At first, there was nothing but silence on the other end. Then a low, raspy voice finally spoke.
"Are you watching the children?"
It asked. Jenna froze. The voice was deep, distorted, and yet somehow familiar. "Who is this?" she asked, trying to steady her racing heart. The voice chuckled, sending a cold shiver down her spine. "I'm watching them right now." Her stomach dropped. This was too strange. "Who is this?" she asked again, her voice wavering. The voice softened, becoming eerily calm.
"Are you sure the children are safe?"
Jenna felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. Her palms started to sweat. "What do you mean by that?" she asked, but the line went dead. Just like that, the phone went silent. Jenna stood there for a moment, the phone still pressed to her ear, the sudden quiet unsettling her. She quickly hung up and dialed the Daniels number, hoping they could calm her nerves. When the parents answered, they sounded relaxed, even though Jenna's voice was thick with unease. "It's probably just a prank," Mrs. Daniels assured her. "Stay calm, Jenna. Kids are fine. Everything is fine." But something wasn't right. Jenna tried to shake off the dread creeping into her chest, but she couldn't. There was something wrong, something she couldn't explain. She hung up the phone, but the feeling remained, lingering in the air like a thick fog. Without thinking, she stood up and walked toward the stairs. She had to check on the kids. Just as she reached the bottom of the stairs, she heard a soft scraping noise. A slow, methodical sound coming from the window. Jenna froze. Her mind raced as she stared at the window, trying to convince herself that the wind had picked up, maybe blowing a tree branch against the glass. But when she checked the window, she found it locked, every latch secure. There was nothing outside. Her breath caught as the phone rang again, cutting through the silence. She rushed over, picking up the receiver without thinking. The voice was back, softer, almost too calm.
"Check the closet,"
it whispered. Her heart stopped. "What?" Jenna hissed into the phone. The voice didn't answer. She didn't waste a second. She dashed upstairs, her heart pounding louder with each step. She reached Lily and James' room in a panic, pushing the door open. The kids were sound asleep, curled up under their blankets, completely unaware of the chilling call. But something was wrong. The closet door, which had been closed tight when she checked earlier, was now ajar. Jenna's pulse quickened. She stepped forward, trying to make sense of what was happening. She reached out for the door, her hand trembling as she pulled it open. Inside, the closet was empty. No one was hiding inside. She quickly scanned the room again, but everything seemed normal. Her mind was playing tricks on her, right? Just then she heard it, a creak. A soft, slow sound from behind her. She whipped around, her eyes scanning the hallway. The door to the kids' room slowly creaked open, a faint light spilling out from the crack. Then came the sound of footsteps, light and deliberate, echoing through the hallway. Jenna froze. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears, the noise growing louder with each passing second. Slowly, she turned toward the door to the hallway, her breath shallow. She was about to call out, but the footsteps stopped. The hallway was empty. Jenna hesitated, her mind racing. Her pulse raced, and she swallowed hard, the dread creeping up her throat. She took a cautious step forward, moving into the hallway. But there was no one there. No figure, no shape. Nothing. But something was wrong. She felt it deep in her bones. Something was watching her. Suddenly, she heard the faintest sound behind her, the unmistakable shuffle of footsteps. She whipped around, but there was no one there. Her breathing quickened, and she backed toward the stairs, clutching the railing. Her head spun. What was going on? The house was silent again, but the phone rang. Jenna stood there, frozen for a moment, debating whether to pick it up. She knew what was coming next. Phone call. Voice. She picked up the phone. But this time no one spoke. She listened. All she could hear was the faint sound of breathing on the other end. Jenna's heart pounded. She dropped the phone, her mind racing. Something was happening. Something she couldn't explain. Her only thought was to get out, to leave this house and never look back. She turned and ran toward the front door, her breath coming in short bursts. As she reached the door, she felt a cold hand on her shoulder. She spun around, but there was nothing. With a final scream, Jenna rushed out the door, the cold night air hitting her face as she ran into the street. The house loomed behind her, its windows dark and silent. The phone rang one last time, but Jenna didn't look back.
Feeling the suspense? Tell us how many jump scares made you jump out of your seat, and what part of the story got to you the most. And share your thoughts on what makes a perfect horror story.